Happy New Year all. Hope you're all well. Sorry I haven't done a video for a bit. I've just been busy with Christmas, and now I'm going to get round to this one, the Remembrance of the Dalek Set, History of the Dalek Set 15. You might be thinking, why didn't you do this before? I only got this as a Christmas present from my dear friend Peter, so it's much appreciated. And just first of all, before I go into kind of a lot of detail, we're going to talk about the basics of these sets. So I've got the Remembrance of the Dalek set. We haven't got Resurrection yet. Apparently that is to come sometime this year, when I do not know. Al Dewar, I believe, did say he wanted to do a bigger set, or 2 sets or something like that. And no, it is not a fact, it's just something he said, so that's that. But what I want to come on to is how many of these sets there have been. It must be a story he likes, actually. So far, including this one, there has been 7 different Remembrance of the Dalek sets. Not all but the same Daleks. So I'm just going to run through what they are. I'm not going to show you pictures of them anyway, but just going to run through quickly. So in 2010 was the first time they came with the one, an Imperial Dalek. That's the white and gold ones, because you didn't know. Came with the 7th Doctor figure. That's a hatted head in cream jacket. Then again later in 2010 we had the Forbidden Planet Underground Toys exclusive set, which was an Imperial Dalek, the Special Weapons Dalek, Supreme Dalek, and the Renegade Dalek. 2 years later in 2012 we had the Emperor Davros and Destroyed Imperial Dalek. Then we had in 2013 Toys R Us exclusive 7th Doctor, Hatless, and Renegade Dalek. Now this time they put mesh on that one, because it was just a painted slats. I'll show you that one in a bit. I brought that one to show you as well. Then also in 2013 we had the FX Daleks. That was a talking one. Special Weapons Dalek. Then we had in 2020 the Coal Hill School set, which featured Ace and a Imperial Dalek. And then bang up to date in 2023, this one, the Supreme Dalek and Renegade. And I dare say there will probably be an 8th and 9th set, or maybe just one more, because they haven't released in years the Emperor Dalek. That's spoilers. That's Emperor Davros, and they might do the Special Weapons again. I don't know. I can't see the point of them doing another Imperial or another Renegade unless they're going to make them accurate, which I'm now going to come on to. So apart from the paint, they've improved this drastically. Actually, before I come on to accuracy, I just want to come back to the paint. So as you can see, nice gloss finish. It is very nice. No overspray on the hemispheres. Gun arms all nicely painted. Eye stalkers do a little bit stiff, but they will unstiffen with wear. This one also nicely painted. Because when this set came out the very first time, that was the exclusive set in 2010, which I'll remind you, which was with the Imperial Dalek, Special Weapons Dalek, Supreme Renegade. Oh boy, did we have issues with character options on that. Myself and my very good friend, Chris Etherington, and hi Chris, if you're watching this, you better be, were invited to character options offices in Oldham in Manchester, because the quality of these sets were awful. The painting was terrible. In the boxes, the arms were always bent, the eye stalks bent. These were these little tiny eye stalks they did. I think I can show you that later. Yeah, I've got the one here. It's got a small one. Oh boy, the quality was bad then. Overspray and everything. It's just really poor. So eventually, after going there and having words with the lovely Tracy Jump, who I think has moved on to pastures new now, things began to improve. I know sometimes there is a few issues, but overall the quality has improved over the years now. Anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you, that little tale. And I said I got these for Christmas, and I'm grateful to my other friend Peter for getting them for me. He knows I like my Doctor Who stuff. So I have some info I want to impart about these wonderful Daleks. So first off, I want to do a comparison. I'm just going to move him back. This is a Destiny Dalek, and now not the same grey, but very similar. In fact, you could pass the Renegade off as a Destiny. Excuse me, Slivers, I got a touch of a cold. You see, the colour is a bit bright. It was actually too bright on the Imperial Renegade, sorry. And if you were to go on those wonderful guys' website, Daleks 638, they have pictures of the accurate colour. And yet on the box of the History of the Daleks set 15, the blurb on the back is taken from History of the Daleks 638 website, except they didn't bother to go in and look at the colouring or the details of the Daleks. Now the eye stalk, now I'll try and see if I can turn it round. I'll just take it out for a second. Won't be a second. There we go. So you can see. Now the eye stalk here, the discs are in the wrong order of size. The eyeball, too many indentations and layers on the iris. You see the Destiny eye next to it in the middle there is almost perfect, to point that the Supreme Dalek, there was a prototype recently seen on Facebook, had the accurate eye. So I don't know why, but money seems to have been wasted on making it incorrect. Mind you, I have heard rumours that it is deliberately when mistakes happen. Like I think I've heard if you look at, no, which one is it? Power of the Daleks Dalek, the one with the mutant scoop. That is Power, is that evil? No, that's Power. I've got one that the mesh is only painted halfway round, on the slats. I've heard that was actually done deliberately. Yet a certain person always blames the factory. Oh, there's an old saying, a bad workman blames his tools. And the factory are only told what to do by whoever. Now the slats on the Renegade are also incorrect. The wrong number of them. The mesh pattern is also incorrect. In fact, the imperial slats seem to have been sacrificed to add inaccurate mesh. So I have no idea why that is. I mean, I know when going way back in 2010 when the Imperial Dalek was first released, characters said they couldn't do an accurate one because, as you may know, these Daleks differ than the original classic Daleks. So it's basically based on just like a standard Dalek, but within the correct colouring. That is the Imperial one. And yet it's been released quite a few times, and they've basically also repainted it to use it for this one. You'd think they would get it right by now. They're going to take out the Destiny one and they're going to bring in an earlier release. In the words of Blue Peter, here's one I made earlier. Now this is from the original release, going back in time, because it has, I know you can't see, try and see there, you can't see. This one has mesh kind of added, whereas this one is just painted and not very well. It has the tiny eye stalk. Eye stalk's a bit small, but it's actually quite accurate. As you can see, the colour is better on that one, but still not quite right. Yeah, it is more like a Destiny one. Destiny had various colours. This is more like a bluey grey. But as you can see, there is a difference. Let me just turn that round for you. And there you can have a look at the two together. So again, people say, oh well, they're only toys, they won't be accurate, and they're happy with them. That's fine. If you're happy with it, just getting standard Daleks and they've been inaccurate, that's fine, brilliant. But when they can go to the trouble of getting other ones right, and also other figures, they can go to getting the detail right, painting on the costume right. I mean, look at the Sixth Doctor from the recent release and the TARDIS. I mean, that TARDIS is really good, and the paint detail is excellent on it. And the Sixth Doctor, the colour on the coat and the patterns is spot on. So if they can go to that trouble, and the Sixth Doctor requires a lot of paint, why can't they get the blooming Daleks right? It's a bit on me. I mean, the Supreme Dalek here, as nice as it is, let me take this chappy out and I'll bring in the old Supreme. Now, there is another Supreme out in the wide yonder. There was the prototype, as I mentioned before, but there is another Supreme that when we were on speaking terms, Al Jewell was very kind enough to send one to me to give to my friend Chris, to cheer him up at the time, and hopefully when I get to go over to Chris's I can take some photos for it, or even do a video on it if he'll let me. So this, the middle is the Supreme, and the new one is better. I'll just put it side by side. It is painted better. It is a lot more accurate, I think. But I just have to confess, I'm not sure of what should the colour be, but if you wonderful, superb folks, bear with me. I shall just do some research. Right, for some reason, I don't know why, looking at the photos of the Supreme from Remembrance of the Dalek, its eye stalk should be black with silver rings. So it's got here 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they are right on this one. However, there should be silver, and the whole eye stalk itself should be all black. Lights are orange, it's correct. The slats are wrong. They should be a little bit more spaced out. God, you'd think after all this time, I mean, when was it? That was came out 23, 13 years, and they still can't get it right. I don't know what he's doing, Dewar. Mr. Dewar, I do not know what you're doing. If you listen to this, get it right. I don't care whether you like that or not. Because it is not hard. Or is the intention, as some of us suspect, to re-release it again in another so many years and say, oh, we can get it right now. I don't know, but it just seems to be quite strange. Anyway, I sort of also come on to accuracy. So when people say, oh, they're accurate enough, and as I said, they're only toys, well, these are aimed at the collector's market, which is us fans. Otherwise, if they were just toys, they'd be sold in all the other retailers. Whether new Doctor Who figures will be sold in other retailers remains to be seen. I don't think we will have any idea on any new stuff hitting likes of Argos, Tesco, etc. until after the new series finishes, because they'll probably be waiting to see how it's doing. I mean, there's certainly no Easter eggs of Doctor Who, so this autumn and this Christmas will be interesting to see if there's any new figures, apart from hopefully B&M. When that will be, no idea. I suppose spring again, April, May, the usual. We're going round stores searching for it. I mean, there's still people out there that haven't got these sets because they just can't get them, and I think that's unfair, especially on American fans. I feel sorry for them because they can't get them. Anyway, I'm kind of digressing. I'm just going to remove this. I'm going to show you a very old Dalek from the 60s. He's rather battered. When people say accuracy and blah, 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 I'm going to show you what accuracy was and what wasn't. So this is in the 60s. This is a Marx Bump and Go Dalek. He's quite old now and battered. Of course, nothing like how a Dalek should be, except though they've got the bands around the middle part fine, the shoulders. But some say, oh, well, the Marx Daleks weren't accurate at that. In a manner of speaking, they were, because, if you know your history, they used models of these in Evil of the Daleks for the final battle, and also to show an army of frozen Daleks in Planet of the Daleks. So, in other words, they are screen accurate. But when people say, well, they're so much better than the 60s and all the Marx Daleks, well, in the 60s they didn't have the tooling process as we have now. Or better than Dapol. Yes, these are better than Dapol, but things have moved on. Technology's moved on. I mean, it's silly, I think, to compare something of years gone by. I mean, it's like in the programme itself. Take the Dalek Invasion of Earth, the TV version, the spaceship. Considering the budget they had, it looks like a silver plate on a wire. Yes, the movie one was miles better, and I still think that effect holds up to today, and that was a model. But technology's come on so much, and they can do so much. It doesn't always have to cost a fortune. Yes, I know these cost a lot to make, but if you get them accurate, you sell more and you get your money back. So there we go. But overall, I mean, it's a nice to have. As I said, I've got them already. I haven't bothered with the bronze Dalek or the accurate Dalek set because I have that already. If I happen to see them in B&M reduced, I might pick them up. But otherwise, that's that. Anyway, hope you like this little ramble and find it useful. Don't forget to ring the bell to find out when I'm doing new videos. Get a notification, I should say. And please give this a like if you liked it. Drop me a comment below if you've got any questions or comments, or I would appreciate any suggestions for new videos, because it'll probably be a while before we get some new figures. So if there's any older figures you'd like me to do a review, give my thoughts on, let me know. As I said, I've got quite a collection. So there you go. Stay safe, stay well, and again, Happy New Year, and I hope 2024 is a brilliant one for you. Bye.